Hi, just a short few words on the difference between triggers and the root cause of an addiction. Triggers are things that are more prevalent in people who are trying to recover or who are in a period of maybe sobriety, or they're trying to stop gambling or porn addiction or whatever addiction it is. So they're going through a period when they've stopped and they're really doing their best not to engage in the addictive behaviour. But a trigger can be, for instance, let's take a gambler, and they've stopped gambling, they've banned themselves from online casinos or whatever, casino, slot machines, all of that. And then a bill comes through the door that makes them anxious and worry about how they're going to be able to pay for it. So that is a trigger. And that will create that feeling of, oh, if I go back to gambling, then I might win a lot of money. And, the bill is sorted, the financial worry is dealt with. Somebody who stopped drinking may be invited to a party, or it's Christmas time, or some occasion, anything, could be a multitude of reasons, and they feel tempted. It takes them back to how they felt when they were drinking, and it was quite good and they liked it. So that again is a trigger. But triggers are everywhere. They're sort of external, like as I've talked about, birthdays, events. They take place the form of people, like family members, colleagues, relations, friends. These can all act as triggers because they can connect you back to the reason why you started the addiction in the first place. Another example, for instance, may be shopping addiction, and you've stopped shopping, but you're out and about with your friends, and you've cut up your credit card and that, but you still have another one, and you're out and you think, oh, I'm gonna go and buy myself something nice, because you're with your friends and it feels good and that. So just that circumstance and being with your friends and you want to feel good again is going to take you back to that feeling that you get when you go shopping and you start spending more money than you can afford to spend. But you feel good when you're buying them. So triggers, as I say, they're everywhere. They're very hard to avoid. They're also just feelings like fear, anxiety, depression, loneliness, low self-esteem. There's just a multitude of reasons or feelings that take that form, and it's difficult to avoid them. I mean, the root cause of an addiction is something else. That's the reason why you started. People start an addiction for a multitude of reasons, but generally it's to deal with difficult emotions or unpleasant experiences, but there will be unpleasant feelings and emotions attached to that. So maybe somebody starts drinking to deal with loneliness, or they start drinking to deal with feeling uncomfortable. Maybe they experienced violence in earlier years or whatever. And it's always to sort of give a sedative effect, a calming effect, to calm uncomfortable emotions, uncomfortable feelings, feelings that the person just doesn't want to feel. They want them to go away, and the addiction distracts them from it. And that will be the root cause of the addiction. Addiction can be genetic. It's scientifically proven that there is a genetic predisposition, but there will also be some kind of emotional issue along with it, maybe stress induced or some kind of trauma or negative experience, which will cause the person to start the addictive behaviour. So I hope that's been a little bit helpful to show the difference between a trigger and the actual root cause. And being aware of triggers is really helpful, because when you become aware of triggers, then you've got a lot more understanding of your addiction. But it would be better, of course, not to have to avoid triggers and deal with the root cause of the addiction, which is really through therapy and through the therapy that I offer, which is to create better coping skills, to provide an understanding, first of all, of what's going on. And you will know the reason for it. It will be buried in your subconscious. And then to develop coping skills, better coping skills, to deal with things that happen to us in life, because life throws a lot of unpleasant things our way. And addiction really, in a nutshell, is a way to deal with unpleasant, difficult emotions. So it's finding better coping skills and an understanding of why the addiction started and creating those better, healthier coping skills. I hope that's been helpful. Bye for now.